Hey everyone, so for today's video, I wanted to walk you through the 21 Days of Beauty sale that Ulta is having right now. I believe it goes from August 19th through September 18th. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about my top recommendations from the sale, the products that I have depended on for a long time, the products that I can fully stand behind and really love. Rather than going through the whole sale, my personal feeling about sales like this is that when there are products that are so marked down, it makes you feel like you need to buy them. And I definitely don't think that that's the case at all. That's why I would much rather focus on this video of the products that I have loved for a long time and can recommend even outside of this kind of video, if that makes sense. So the first item I wanted to talk about and recommend is on sale starting September 8th. It is the Buxom Wanderlust Primer Infused Blushes. This is the shade Dolly. It's the blush that I'm wearing on my cheeks today. I decided to just kind of go for like an all-over blush look today. Many of you probably already know that cream blush is just my favorite. I love cream blush. I love wearing it on an everyday basis. But there are a couple of powder blushes that I absolutely adore, and this is certainly one of them. So the two main reasons I really like it is one, the texture and the formula, and also the lasting power. So I really like this formula's texture because it's incredibly thin, so it doesn't look like a lot of heavy powder on the skin. I always find that the thinner a powder is, the less likely it is to look heavy on the skin. So I find that this one is a powder that sits very closely on the skin. So again, it's not going to look heavy, but I also really adore the fact that this has a shift to it. It has just a very soft sheen. It's not a shift as in like it goes golden or anything like that. There's just a beautiful and incredibly soft luminosity to this product that doesn't translate as sparkle. Sometimes it can be difficult to find that perfect balance, and this one does a really good job of making the cheeks look a little bit more radiant and pretty, but this also lasts a really long time. Almost a year ago, I did a video called, like my favorite powder products. Since I talk about creams so much, I thought it would be kind of interesting to actually talk about the powder products that I love, and this was included in that video. And I still think that this is one of the best powder blushes out there. So if you are in the market for a powder blush that doesn't look heavy or isn't going to take away the natural radiance of your face, I think that this is a really beautiful one, and I love that it lasts a long time as well. So on the next day of the sale, on September 10th, we have a product that I would certainly recommend you guys check out, and I've talked about it quite a lot on my channel. It is the Urban Decay Moondust Shadows, and my personal favorite is Space Cowboy. It is what is on my eyes today. This is not going to be a surprise for some of you, but if you have never heard of this shadow, if you haven't heard of the magic behind it and why I really love it, is that it is a powder shadow that looks beautifully glossy on the eyes with just being a powder. Glitters reflect back to just give you that like ultimate wet eye look. I love sparkles that reflect a very wet look rather than like a metallic kind of chunky look. This formula has a beautiful kind of peachy beige translucent base, which I think helps give off that kind of wet sheen. And the glitters within here, I mean, you can even see it on my eyes. The glitters just have such a glossiness to them that you can't find with all shadows. So for half off, I think that that is absolutely a great deal. Now that being said, if you want to purchase an item that's even cheaper, you could go with the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in Ritz. If you're interested in a full in-depth look at both of those items, I'm going to leave my Save or Splurge video that I recently did down below so that you guys can check that out. But in a nutshell, if you would rather not go with a cream formula and you work with mostly powder shadows, I think that this is absolutely beautiful and definitely a top recommendation of product that I've loved for years. Another item available on September 10th, which I already know I'm going to buy because I ran out. They are the Zitsticka patches. They have some that are targeted towards dark spots. Really interested in trying those, but personally I have had really great success with the classic acne patches from Zitsticka. If you're not familiar with them, they have these little micro darts that deliver the actives like right into your pimple. It doesn't hurt going onto the pimple at all. You feel them, but it's not an uncomfortable feeling, at least in my opinion. I have found that if you are battling a pimple that is just starting, like you feel it brewing, definitely not a good feeling, but those patches do a really excellent job of stopping the breakout before it happens. So I really like them for that reason. And also, once the gunk is kind of already all out, I find that it does a good job of healing it as well. Those are also half off. They're very expensive. I honestly purchased them because when I have like a really deep pimple, I will seriously spend any money to kind of give me some relief. So I purchased them full price, but for 50% off, I definitely am going to be picking up a pack because obviously I'm out. So the next day, September 11th, we have another item that I would definitely recommend, and they are the IT Cosmetics for Ulta brushes. So you can see these are very dirty because I use these all of the time. The set I have is your Beautiful Basics set, but they also have some other sets. I'm specifically interested in the eye set, but really as far as IT Cosmetics brushes go, they are very high quality. They're incredibly soft, and they're brushes that are going to last you. So if you want to make an investment in some really nice brushes, I definitely recommend these ones. And because these are the ones that are for Ulta, they're already a little bit cheaper than the IT Cosmetics brushes that they have on their website, for example. But at half off, I think that these sets are really good deal. Moving on to September 13th. I have a couple of items that I would recommend and that I've used for a long time. The first is the Korres Greek Yogurt Foaming Cream Cleanser. Now, if you have been on my channel for a long time, you know I've probably used this for almost 4 years. Feel like it really does a good job of actually cleansing the skin without stripping it. So this is a really luxurious creamy texture. By the way, this is the old packaging. This is just a backup that I had. They have new packaging now, but I've used it for so long because I have dry skin and I have more sensitive skin. And I feel like with this cleanser, it just does a good job of giving me a really beautiful, creamy, rich lather. So if that sounds like you, this is a cleanser that I would recommend. The next items that will be on sale on the 13th are the Coverfx primers. Now, this is the gripping primer as well as the dewy primer, and personally, if you want a makeup item that is really going to help your makeup last much longer, the gripping primer definitely does that. You could also mix this into your foundation, but personally, my favorite product is the Dewy Skin Primer from Coverfx. This is the primer that I would definitely recommend because I just love that it's a quick item to give you like a really glassy glass skin glow. It's the primer that I'm wearing on my skin today. All I have is foundation, blush, concealer. I have added no highlight, and this just gives my skin just that glassy looking glow. So I definitely recommend this one if you have dry skin and you're looking for like an all over glassy, dewy, healthy look. I will say though that I wouldn't recommend this for like combo to oily skin. This is going to be way too much dew, I think at least. But going into fall and into winter, especially when my skin gets really dull and I apply makeup and I'm just like, my skin looks just overall tired and sallow. To be able to have a product like this, I think is really key in making your makeup also look good. Makeup will apply better on top of this. It will look fresher and more radiant. So this is certainly a primer that I would keep on hand as like a quick fix item anytime my skin needs a little pick-me-up. Next, on September 15th, we have an item that I would recommend, which is the Urban Decay All Nighter Ultra Glow Setting Spray. Let me apply some for you guys. I am glowy today. So as far as setting sprays go, I think that this is one of the absolute best if you want to make your makeup last longer, but you don't want your makeup to look mattified or dried out. This does just such a beautiful job of actually setting the makeup down. Like, this still is an alcohol based setting spray, but personally I feel that it's like taken back a notch. This one is really beautiful. I find that if I just want my makeup to last longer, but I still want the fresh glow that I am trying to get, this does a really good job of extending the wear of my foundation. Or for example, if you have used too much powder, or you just find that your makeup looks a little bit drier than you would like, you could potentially use this to kind of make everything look a little bit more creamy. For example, with something like a MAC Fix Plus kind of item, that's really good for prepping the skin, and also at the end when you just want all of your makeup to kind of melt into each other, and it's not going to help the wear of your foundation. So this might be kind of a good middle ground product to look into. And it is also 50% off. So honestly, when a product like this is 50% off, the price per ounce, comparing this to even like drugstore options, this is just so much better. I always like to look at sales in that way. So those are my items. I wanted to keep it like really straight to the point. The only other item that I have not really tried, I mean, it's been years, but I've been just meaning to pick one up. They are the MAC paint pots. It's obviously a cult classic product, but I personally really want to try the shade Groundwork and a couple of the new shades. You guys know I'm just like a huge fan of cream eyeshadow, so those are actually 50% off on September 9th. They were definitely a big portion of the items that didn't pique my interest, but these are the ones that I could personally recommend to you guys. So if you guys found this video helpful and you enjoyed it, definitely make sure to give this video a thumbs up. I'll leave all of my picks listed down below for you guys, and I will see you all in my next one.